When Matt Gaetz fled to Florida from Washington with his tail tucked between his legs, it seemed like that was the end of the saga of the disgraced former congressman. But it's not, because Matt Gaetz is about to get even more disgraced because the House Ethics Committee just voted in secret to release the report that we all wanted to see about Matt Gaetz, coming out sometime this week detailing all of the horrific evidence against him, not only damning Matt Gaetz, but damning the nomination by Donald Trump, and once again exposing the Republican Party for who they are. But it's not just that. Congressman Jim Burchett went on Jim Acosta today to even further expose the Republican Party, kind of on accident, in a shocking moment when he started attacking his own colleagues, and it was an absolute mess, and we are going to get into that. But before we do, if I could quickly ask you to leave a like on this video, and if you haven't already and you enjoy our channel, to hit that subscribe button. It goes a long way, and it means the world to me. Now let's get into this interview right here.
Congressman Tim Burchett of Tennessee. Congressman, thanks for being here this morning. We appreciate it. I guess a lot to tackle with you, but first of all, your reaction to this decision by the House Ethics Committee to release the Matt Gaetz ethics report. Do you support that?
No, I don't. I think Matt's out of Congress, and I'm going to push for the Ethics Committee to release all the findings they have on every congressman, because if it's good for one, it's good for all of them. And congressional ethics to me is kind of like military intelligence. It really just doesn't exist. This thing was leaked out by the Democrat chairman. They're talking about bringing charges against her, and it's a clown show. It's Congress 101. They're releasing it right now, right before the big budget thing. It'll be a flake in the pan, and Matt will go on and make millions.
Congressman, Gaetz has previously downplayed this report, as you were just saying. Let's listen to what he has said and talk about it on the other side.
There is a play that is run in Washington when they're trying to smear somebody. And, they go and dredge up false, years-old allegations of the most salacious and clickbait-y flavor possible. And in this case, those allegations were coming from sources that Merrick Garland's DOJ had already deemed not credible. Like, if the things that the House Ethics Report were true, I would be under indictment and probably in a prison cell. But of course, they're false.
Congressman, though, for the committee to release this report, that means at least, a couple of Republicans decided to side with the Democrats. Apparently, they think it should be out there. So, doesn't the public have a right to know about this?
And the public has a right to know about all the other investigations they've done. This is just an investigation. It's not a court of law. It's in the past. You get one side of this thing, and they want to release it. Release all of them. I think if it's good for the goose, it's good for the gander. Why are they hiding all the others? Why are they protecting powerful members, former powerful, that are still powerful on this Capitol Hill? And let's be honest too. Every one of these folks on the Republican side was appointed by the former Speaker, which Matt and I both deposed, or disposed of, I guess you would say. And
so you think this is revenge?
It's a revenge tour, and they're not winning because Matt's already got a new job, and he's doing well, and he's married to a beautiful woman. So it was wonderful, and I wish him well. But he's out of Congress. Are they going to keep digging down? I hope they do. I hope they go after every congressman they have a report on.
Let me ask you about the spending deal that was unveiled last night, and Manu Raju was just talking about this a few moments ago. Some of your fellow Republicans are upset at Speaker Johnson for once again working with Democrats on this. Do you want him to remain as Speaker of the House?
That's totally up to the body. He's working under very tough conditions. He's in the minority most of the time, and and the Republicans have a very slim majority. And as far as that pay raise goes, Dick Durbin, come on, Dick, you know better than that. And comparing, I think I'm going to start a GoFundMe page for y'all at CNN after hearing Dick Durbin. That's the most pitiful excuse I've ever heard, to act like the #2 Democrat doesn't know what's in this bill. Look, these things are cut behind the scenes, and they're pulling the curtains off because America is finally waking up.
You don't want a pay raise?
Sure, I want a pay raise. Do I deserve it? Heck no. I make $174,000. You've lived in Tennessee. The average Tennessean doesn't make anywhere near that. I sleep on my couch at night. I'm not an extravagant guy. I'm standing in the middle of my wardrobe right now. Look, I have got. I've been blessed more than anybody I know, and I knew what the heck I was going to make when I took this dadgum job, and every one of us did as well. So if guys want to vote for their pay raise, let them. Tim Burchett's not going to do that.
Well, I do want to ask you about the overall continuing resolution and whether it should pass. I mean, what are your thoughts on that? And what do you think about this? Elon Musk has tweeted this morning that it should not pass. Is Elon Musk calling the shots now?
No, I appreciate Elon Musk following my lead, though. I was quoted, Gunther Eagleman quoted me this morning as a hell no on this thing, and I've been a no on it a long time. You know my history with fiscal restraint, and we have none in this country. We are in a terrible situation. They're selling this thing as it's going to help Trump. You know, President Trump ran on changing things. I say if we're going to pass something, pass it about 3 days into the next Congress and hand it over to Trump and let him handle it, because I think he will, and I think the American public is finally waking up.
Well, speaking of President-elect Trump, he posted this on Truth Social this morning. We showed to our viewers that former Republican Congresswoman Liz Cheney could be in a lot of trouble based on her work on the January 6th committee. He has said he would like to see members of that committee go to jail. Obviously, you know that there was a House Republican report on January 6th. It recommends that there be a criminal investigation into Liz Cheney. Do you think there should be a criminal investigation into Liz Cheney, one of your former colleagues?
If she broke the law, why should she be exempt? If I guarantee if Manu Raju or you broke the law, they'd drag y'all into court in chains. And why should she be exempt?
You don't think Liz Cheney broke the law, do you?
If she manipulated this thing, if she met with people, if she coached them, as they're saying, if she talked to them on a secret website, which they're saying she did, if she coached them, if she altered evidence, if she withheld evidence, then she broke the law.
What's the evidence? What's the evidence of that? I mean, the report came out just days after Donald Trump said that Liz Cheney and other members of the committee should go to jail. Aren't they just doing his bidding?
What's the evidence that Matt Gaetz has other than a report? You've got a report. It's the same thing. That's why people do not trust the media. You have a double standard for one and not for the other. If she didn't break the law, then she's fine. But if she did break the law, she should be held accountable. What is wrong with them asking questions?
The House Ethics Committee. The House Ethics Committee is voting to release this report, presumably with some Republican help. This is a House Republican report on January 6th recommending that Liz Cheney be criminally investigated.
If she broke the law,
isn't this Banana Republic stuff?
Why is she being exempted from the law? Everybody who broke the law should be exempted. No, it's not Banana Republic. If she broke the law, I don't see why that's such a hard thing. If she didn't break the law,
there's no evidence she broke the
she's
law.
Fine.
There's no evidence she broke the law. They just looked into what happened on January 6th and Donald Trump's attempt to overturn a free and fair election.
Other than Barry Loudermilk, who's a very respected member of Congress, doing his very long investigation and very tiring investigation into this. And if they found it, I think it ought to be brought to light. If not, then she's fine. I don't have a problem with them investigating that.
You want the government to go after Trump's political enemies?
If they broke the law, I don't care if they're my political enemies or they're my friends. If they broke the law, dadgummit, they ought to be brought in and they ought to be brought to justice. There shouldn't be. That's what we talk about all the time. That's why Trump's in the White House, because there is two systems of justice in this country, and you can't have it both ways. You have got to. It's got to be straight and right down the middle. You can go back and watch all the tapes that the conservatives put out of the Democrats saying there's not two forms of justice, there's just one. Well, there is two forms of justice. The Biden White House, obviously, they're releasing criminals, they're releasing pedophiles, they're releasing Chinese communist spies, and at a record number, and nobody's paying attention. There is two systems of justice in this country, and I'm tired of them, and you should be either.
Congressman, I mean, you don't think that the January 6th committee should have investigated what took place at the Capitol on January 6th?
Well,
I know you don't believe that. I know you don't believe that.
If they investigate it, why didn't they call me in? I volunteered. I was the last person to leave the House floor, the last House member. Myself, Mark Wayne Mullen. Neither one of us was called in to see what we saw, to show what leadership. All they did was investigate the political wherewithal. It was a witch hunt from the start. That's why the final episode of that crazy thing, there was more people watching reruns of SpongeBob on the Cartoon Network than watching that clown show.
So is this about getting revenge? Is this about Trump getting revenge and
It's
House
about-
Republicans going along with it?
It's about justice. When we point the finger at somebody who's not kind to us, you all automatically assume it's political. If it's political, then why not play it out into the court of public opinion? You sure had it played out on January 6th, and you never called anybody in. It was all a political witch hunt. They stacked the committee. They didn't allow then Speaker McCarthy to appoint his two people that he wanted.
You and I have talked about this
they
before.
changed that.
Congressman, you and I have talked about this. It would never have happened in the first place if Trump had just honored the results of that election, but that's all the time we have.
I always find it hilarious when Republicans throw their own colleagues under the bus like this. We saw Marjorie Taylor Greene do it, and now Jim Burchett really saying there's so many Republicans out there with skeletons in their closet who we're protecting in Congress. Throw them under the bus too. I don't know why they do this. I guess they just can't help themselves. They love this infighting, but I am really looking forward to more of this infighting because, as we know, there is an incredibly slim majority in the House of Representatives, and we need to do everything we can to antagonize that MAGA majority because there's already Republicans saying that they're unsure if they want Mike Johnson to be Speaker of the House. They're not sure if they're happy with what he's done with this CR. Even Elon Musk maybe is growing a little tired of the current speaker. So I would love to see some chaos in the House of Representatives. I'd love for MAGA to once again show how unable to govern they are. They're just completely incompetent. And we're going to be talking about that every single day on this show. And if you want to support that, as always, you can hit that subscribe button. You can leave a like on this video. And if you stuck around to the end, you can drop a blue heart in the comments. And if you want to connect with the show off of YouTube, you can also go to the description of this video and follow me on Instagram or Twitter. And until next time, I'll see you soon.